What we're about to witness is some of the absolute garbage that gets spewed in the Australian media. And normally I like to keep it cool and be a gentleman, but today a rattlesnake might come out. Someone's going to get bit.
I want to take you back to the 1950s, or at least that's what I thought when I read this Brisbane mum's Facebook post. Brooke Smith shared her routine online. Here's what she said. I always make sure I don't go to bed until everyone's lunches are packed, their clothes are set out for the next day, including my husband's, and the house is clean, dishwasher is on, and a load of washing is on. I always get up early, 4:30, with my husband to make his breakfast and coffee. Go, Brooke. Whatever. I tell you what, though, Chris, a lot of people online are saying, well done, are praising her.
Who? Who are these people? Has he hypnotised her or something? Who does this stuff? Beta! Making his breakfast and then putting his clothes out overnight? Is he disabled or something? Like, seriously? Beta! So get a grip, get off your bum and do stuff yourself. Beta!
My only theory is that she might actually like her husband and she might actually like to get up at 4:30 and spend some time with you. Get up at 4:30 and spend some time with you.
Hey, help me sing it, homeboy. Come on. Say Coke 45 and 2 zigzags. Baby, that's all we need.
I like my husband, but make your own bloody breakfast and coffee.
But the amazing thing, apparently this couple run an MMA fighting gym.
Oh, like mixed martial arts.
Mixed martial arts, and they also breed bulldogs, so they can do whatever they want. I'm like,
you're not arguing.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? If it makes her happy, but nothing in that list of things there,
And she's got 4 children under the age of 6.
But did you see her
4 children under the age of 6?
But did you see her?
So roll the 83 Cadillac Coupe de Ville.
But did you see her photos too? She still had time to make her hair look beautiful and put her makeup on.
Women attacking
she looks
women.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think she looks gorgeous.
Yeah, you're making the rest of us look bad.
You want to shame her on national TV, do you? Well, guess what? 2 can play this, and there's levels to this game. Look at this fawning, obsequious male feminist, falling over himself to desperately try and defend our lady's honour, in the hope that one day, just one day, somebody may touch his little pee-pee. And how about the feminist anchor? She shall go unnamed, but wow, isn't that a good representation of the dark side of female behaviour? Looked like something straight out of the plot of Mean Girls.
Vintage. So adorable. Thanks. That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen.
But the lady in the middle is a smiling assassin, just going boom. Maybe she enjoys that time with her husband, yes. And then that feminist tries to double down and say, yeah, but my husband. Well, your husband is probably one of those guys who does chore play. One of those dudes who's convinced that doing his chores really gets her in the mood. And then she just lays her cards out on the table and goes straight for the looks. She's got her hair done in her Facebook photos, has she? Wow, she must have way too much time on her hands between raising 4 humans. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Let's have a closer look at Brooke's photos and see if there's something I'm missing. Look at this smile. If that's not a cry for help, then I don't know what is. Definitely a bit of Stockholm Syndrome there. Oh my goodness, this is terrifying. I can't bear to witness this level of oppression and suffering. Get it off the screen. Sorry guys, I could not watch that woman drowning in love and adoration for 1 second longer. I just felt helpless not being able to reach out my hand and pull her from this tyranny. What else have we got anyway? Nah. Oh no, those puppies. Nah, cut. Somebody send help. Somebody send this poor woman help. In all seriousness though, guys, this is what I see. Her husband works 5 or 6 days in construction every week and then runs an MMA gym at nighttime. They also breed bulldogs. So this is a dude who is working hard. And I know for a fact, having been heavily involved in the combat sports industry, that MMA gyms aren't an investment opportunity. MMA gyms are hard work. And you do it because you love it and you do it because you're passionate about it. If you're training amateurs, you don't even get paid. And even if you're training pros, unless they're high level fighters, you'll get paid bugger all. So to me, I'd say that this guy's probably someone who's very disciplined, likely in good shape and respected in his community. And he'd probably kick the shit out of 99% of men. And I don't see a tyranny. I see a woman who deeply, deeply loves her man and thinks, we are in this together and I'm not going to let you get up at 4:30 a.m. alone. I see a woman who doesn't have to, but wants to get up in the morning and wants to spend time with her husband. She wants to make him breakfast as a gesture of saying how much she respects him and how much she appreciates how hard he works to provide for the family. And I'm sure the feeling is reciprocated. It seems like she just wants her husband to have the best possible start to the day and leave the house with a smile on his face. And when he gets home in the evenings, everything's organized and he can have peace. There's nothing that a man wants more than to come home to peace and respect, lamb chops on the table, broccoli, mashed potato, kids running up, daddy, 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 because their mum hasn't been infecting their minds all day with how useless their father is and how he's never home. Instead, she's saying, you see those shoes on your feet? You see those Christmas presents under the tree? You remember that Bali trip that we went on last year? That's all because daddy works so hard. Daddy has to work to give us nice things. And when he gets home, I want you to run up, give him a big hug and tell him how much you love him. And vice versa, when he's at the pub and there's guys throwing back beers and saying how annoying their wives are and all different kinds of things, he's going to be kicking back saying, not my girl. My girl holds it down at home. This is the kind of guy that would never badmouth his girl. In fact, everyone around him would probably know that if they badmouth her, they're probably going to get a knuckle sandwich. Because when he goes to work, she goes about the very innocuous and meaningless task of raising 4 human beings. 4 human beings with unlimited potential that will go out into the world and have an untold impact, either positive or negative, largely depending on how they're raised right now in this critical time in their developmental phase of their life. I have a few close friends who actually have a very similar setup to this. The wife's primary role is to look after the children, but she also helps with the family business. But she's incredibly dedicated and pours all of her time and energy into keeping a happy home. And the husband or the dad, he's a big G, former pro fighter, even though I'd still bash him, works his ass off, has to work away a lot of the time, but has the respect and love of his family. And the kids are absolutely delightful to be around. They're always well-groomed, well-dressed, well-mannered. They absolutely adore each other. They love and respect their parents. And the eldest son, who's about 16 now, is absolutely killing it, setting an incredible example for his 2 younger siblings. Do you think that loving and productive family environment is possible if she goes away and works 60 hours a week and then drops them off every day to be raised by some blue-haired activist who tells them that they can choose one of 387 genders? I have my doubts.
And the friend likes to ask the question, are you a boy or a girl? And Nash answers, I'm just a kid. But kids can be boys or... They can be boys or girls. Yeah. Maybe non-binary. Yeah. Just like me. So Nash, just like me, is non-binary. So they aren't sure if they're a boy or a girl.
And believe me, this is not me saying that I don't think that women can have careers and raise families at the same time. You absolutely can do that. And if you want to do that, more power to you as far as I'm concerned. But in this day and age and in this education system, that's becoming more and more of a risk. So don't be surprised when your kid comes home and starts lecturing you about your white privilege. Now, guys, you might be thinking by now, Jake, why are you so triggered by this? I'll tell you why. Because young women are being lied to these days constantly. And it's not their fault that they have these terrible conceptions about relationships and men. I don't know what it's like in the States and other places. Hopefully I'll be there at some point this year. But in Australia, if there are a random group of people and this came up in conversation and you were to say something like, I want a wife that can cook, heresy, blasphemy. 9 out of 10 times you have to self-censor so much. And I despise that narrative because ultimately it's a part of a deeper underlying philosophy, a cultural Marxist philosophy that seeks to undermine the fundamental institutions of our society. And one of those institutions is the nuclear family. It makes me really cringe when I hear young girls saying, I don't want to have kids. I want to focus on my career. Kids are bad for the environment. I don't have to do anything for a man. These days, what's aspirational for young girls is what they see on TikTok and terrible female role models like Cardi B and Kim Kardashian, for God's sakes. They're being openly told that they can do anything a man can do. And they're empowered and liberated for sleeping around until they're 35 and focusing on their career and getting their eggs frozen. And it's garbage like this in the media that proliferates this narrative. And as we saw, they shame women who just want to put mothering first. Women who want to make the ultimate sacrifice and sacrificing their body for pregnancy, sacrificing any individual career aspirations to just focus on being a mother and raising children. It's the most noble thing you can do, and I'm in awe of those sorts of mothers who want to have big families and raise good young people. And I'm also in awe of those sorts of men who go out and bust their ass every single day to provide for those families. Those situations is when sacrifice, responsibility, and duty converge to make something really, really beautiful and a legacy. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like this sort of content, then go to www.rattlesnaketv.com to sign up for my email list where you'll get my top 10 books, movies, podcasts, and YouTube channels, and a free PDF with 5 communication techniques that have absolutely changed my life and the way that I interact with people. So like and subscribe if you haven't already. Chuck that notification bell on. And if you want to watch another video, click right here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, click right here. Until next time, I'm Jake. This is Rattlesnake TV.